Hey everybody, I'm Sam Haymart and you're watching Test Driven TV. Today we are test driving a vehicle that I've been looking forward to getting behind the wheel of, and this is the new 2025 Ram 1500 pickup truck with the new inline 6 twin turbo engine replacing the HEMI V8. This is a Warlock, which means it's sort of mid-grade, sort of on the lower end of the equipment scale, but it's got some off-road chops as well. And this one is pricing out at about $57,000 with the options that it's got, that being the engine, the Warlock trim package, and a few other little details out back, the bed package and the tonneau cover. And so this is a vehicle that with the Warlock package gets 18x8 alloy wheels. It gets off-road tires, which are some pretty nice chewy tires. If you look at those, if you price those things out to go buy those for your vehicle, you're going to find out they're pretty expensive because they're good tires. And also with this package, you get a full set of skid plates underneath. So it's not quite all the way up to Rebel in terms of its off-road prowess, but you do get a little bit more than the base model and the base model 4x4s when you step up to the Warlock. It's capability, it's extra capability that you get. Taller springs, better shocks, and so forth. Now under the hood, that's really the big news here for our test drive. It's the new 3-liter inline 6 twin turbocharged Hurricane engine. This is the 420 horsepower unit, which betters the horsepower of the old HEMI V8 it replaces. Torque is way up, and fuel economy, well, you can see those numbers right there. This is an engine that is paired with the 8-speed automatic that we're used to in Ram trucks, and so when we get out for a test drive, we're really going to sort of be talking about what this new engine's like as it compares to the old V8. Coming around to the rear 3/4 view, you can see the big Warlock decal on the back. I really think that if you were a church pastor, you probably wouldn't be driving this to church, right? You wouldn't buy this truck and park it right up front early on a Sunday morning before the congregants start to arrive. Just my hunch, but nonetheless, very pronounced. Really, the big thing, though, I wanted to point out on the back of this truck is look at the lower bumper. Big dual exhaust tips down there, as we'd expect with a big V8 under the hood, only now that we don't have a V8, they didn't take that away. A nice feature, I think. It really does add some good looks and some sense of muscle to the truck. All right, my friends, let's go for a drive. We're going to see how this thing performs with its new engine under the hood. So if you watch my videos, you know a question I do like to always ask is, how does it go? Woo! Got a nice roll and a nice sound. Woo! And I am way past 60 already. So it's quiet, it's refined, it doesn't have that V8 growl, but it's got plenty of power. And it just comes across with the smoothness and the refinement that you usually look to like an inline 6 in a BMW or a Mercedes to experience. And so that's, for me, the benefit. I like the fact that it offers smooth, silky power. And while it's missing that V8 rumble that we all like, it does offer up plenty. Yeah, nice. Woo! Oh, I love some good horsepower. So now this engine, with this transmission, this 8-speed automatic transmission, has always been a good thing. It works well. It does its shifting. You've got some buttons here on the steering wheel that allow you some manual shift and hold it in certain gears. So if you're pulling a trailer up a hill or something like that, you've got control over the gears that it's in, which is good. I wish we had a column shifter. I'm not a big fan of this twist knob thing down here. Never have been, never will be. I like a lever so that you can have a little bit more tactile control than pressing buttons and having to look on an indicator display to see what gear you're in and know for sure. I'm an old-fashioned guy like that, I guess. So, fuel economy. This engine is rated at 17 city, 24 highway, and 19 combined. So, do we see a really big increase in MPG over the old V8? Not really, honestly. And the other thing to know with turbocharged engines is if you're just driving around town, lolling along, having a good time, you'll probably see some pretty good fuel economy. But if you're putting it under load, if you're on the pedal all the time, if you're towing a trailer, turbos suck gas. Anyone that's ever had a Ford EcoBoost F-150 that's stepped into that from a V8 will tell you the same thing. It's just how it is. Turbocharged engines, while they can be more efficient and they're definitely more powerful, they're also definitely more thirsty when you roll into the throttle. That's just the way it is. So I'm happy with this engine. I like it. I would totally buy it. I really think this would be an interesting motor to find in a Wrangler, but whether this will show up in some of the larger trucks down the line, we don't know yet. As to the ride, drive, and handling, this is a well-sorted chassis. As I've found, Ram trucks usually do have a pretty solid feeling, good handling character. This does not have the air suspension that you can get on some of the other models, which I always highly recommend. That air suspension is really a nice thing if you can get it. It just rides nicer and it gives you some adjustability. And when you dial up the drive modes and things like that, you can really get some versatility out of that air suspension as well. It's not all about a cushy ride, but it's expensive. It costs more money, and it's not available on the Warlock. So if you're looking at the Warlock, this is really meant to be a little bit more of a plain nuts and bolts kind of a truck, and I like it. Now the interior on this, in that way, is pretty plain. This is not very far from the tradesman interior. It's got the bench seat style setup that has 3 across seating, and of course it is split, so you can put this down like I've got it and have your drink here in the center console, and plenty of space. There's storage in there, but if you want 3 across seating, you got it. You can put this up and do that. But I like having an armrest here. And the more standard instrument cluster with 2 analog dials and a digital center screen is just fine, I think, for a pickup truck. The standard 8.4-inch infotainment system, I think, is more than adequate. It's not the most fully featured system you can get in this truck. It's not the larger tablet style screen that you can get, but it has plenty of features. And important to my world, it's got Apple CarPlay functionality and it's wireless. So I can really dig into all the features I'm already used to when I go from one vehicle to the next. No big deal there. So all in, I think they've done a good thing here. This is a good solid motor. It's quiet, it's refined, and definitely lots of power. All right, my friends, there you have it. 2025 Ram 1500 with the new inline 6. So the truck itself, I like Ram trucks. I've test driven quite a few of them over the years, and this latest generation, good quality, good design, good versatility. The interiors on these are good, from a near base level interior that we've got here all the way up to the nicest ones you can get with leather and wood and everything else. They've just done a nice job curating the brand, curating the truck, and delivering something that people can expect to be good. And it's a nice option out there. If Ford and Chevy just aren't your thing, and maybe Toyota's just another thing over there, Ram's always a good option. And really, this review, more than anything, as we've already talked about, is about this new engine and the fact that we don't have a V8 anymore, but instead we've got something that's a little bit more high-tech and a little quieter maybe. The rumble of the V8's gone, and I'm not one of those people that ain't no V8, no deal. I'm not one of those guys. This has got all the power, if not more power, than the old HEMI V8, and it has fuel economy, which we'll see how that works out down the road long term with real people doing real things with their trucks. But EPA fuel economy is supposed to be just slightly better, maybe. That notwithstanding, it's what it is. No more V8, and I don't think it's a loss when it comes to power, performance, and living with it every day. It's a nice, well-refined, well-put-together engine, I think, and I'm not one of those people that's going to quibble about the fact that it doesn't have a V8 rumble. I'll miss it, but I'm not going to quibble. So there you go, our test drive of the 2025 Ram 1500 with the new 6. Yeah, you can see our latest video right there. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there. Either way, stay tuned.